People think I'm crazy when I say, I don't ever want Cytonics to make a dime.
What?
Hey everybody, this is Joey Bose, President and CEO of Cytonics, and I want to make this video today because I just received a call from an investor who asked a very basic but prescient question about how Cytonics can support a over $100 million valuation when the company doesn't make a dime. And I realized there's no obvious answer to that when you're used to seeing companies that trade on the stock market and generate revenue. You can try and figure out what a company that generates cash might be worth as a multiple of that cash, right? Or a multiple of their earnings. Well, pre-revenue research companies, especially biotech, are never going to make any money. They don't want to make any money, right? People think I'm crazy when I say, I don't ever want Cytonics to make a dime. That's not the point. The point is to leverage investor dollars to create value by driving research and development and ultimately create a company that has the ability to generate cash based upon the future potential economic value of those drugs that they're developing. Now, when you try and put a value on that can be really tricky. A lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of machinations in Excel. And we call that financial wizardry risk-adjusted discounted cash flow analysis. Risk-adjusted, well, there's a lot of risk inherent in biotech development. You got to account for that. There's also the risk of tying up money in a particular investment, right? An opportunity cost. The discounted cash flow component comes from looking at or projecting the potential future cash flows over a certain amount of time. In biotech, that's the patent protected time, about 20 years. So you look at the cash flows over that period of exclusivity and you discount them to the present. $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. And adjusting for the risk, summing up the cash flows, discounting it to a present value gives you a potential intrinsic value of an asset or of a company whose value is predicated on an asset, like Cytonics, predicated on the value of Cyte 108, our first-in-class therapy for osteoarthritis, right? Its value is predicated on that risk-adjusted discounted cash flow analysis, which produces a net present value, which is the value of that asset, which drives the value of the company. So when we put a $100+ million valuation on the company, it comes from conducting this analysis and adjusting for the risk based upon our stage of clinical trial, which at this point is right after phase 1. That valuation does not move linearly. It moves in lockstep with clinical trial success, but it moves exponentially, as you can imagine, because the risk-adjusted nature of it comes from compounding probabilities. So if we take you back to stats class, you look at compounding probabilities, you get exponential curves. If you shave off a little probability of failure, it moves fast, right? So we expect our valuation to move in lockstep with clinical trial success, but not linearly, exponentially. That's how we can justify a valuation of over $100 million this round, and the sky is the limit. So I hope that gives you a little insight into how we put a value on the company, how we decide the share price, which, by the way, is that value, the net present value, divided by the number of shares that are outstanding, right? That's all it is. So when you talk about valuation, you can talk about the net present value derived from looking at the risk-adjusted discounted cash flow potential of an asset or a company. Or you can talk about the price per share, right? So in Cytonics' case, we're looking at a $104 million valuation, which about 35 million shares outstanding or so pegs it right at about $3 a share. So that's a little bit about valuation. That's how Cytonics justifies it. Hopefully that was a little bit informative for you.